Tom Fox, staff photographer Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Cole Beasley, 11, looks to see if he picked up the first down after being tackled by New York Giants defensive back Janoris Jenkins, 20, during the fourth quarter at it. The Cowboys defeated the Giants, 20-13. Tom Fox, the Dallas Morning News, Kristi Scales, the sideline reporter for the Dallas Cowboys radio network, answered questions about the team in a live chat recently. Here are the highlights. What are the chances Cole Beasley stays in Dallas? Kristi Scales, in talking with high-ups in the Cowboys player personnel department towards the end of the 2018 season, I got the vibe that they feel Cole Beasley will get a deal in free agency that the Cowboys won't be able to match while remaining within the parameters of their spending plan for 2019 and moving forward. Who is the player the Cowboys could target if Cole Beasley leaves? Kristi Scales, if you're a Cole Beasley fan as well as Cowboys fan, you have a right to be concerned that the fan favorite could leave Dallas now that he's a free agent. If Beasley departs, the Cowboys will have a void at slot receiver. But there's a player who looks and plays a lot like Beasley who already has had success at it. Humphries has been the Tampa Bay Bucs version of Cole Beasley. Humphries, 5'11", is listed a little bigger than Beasley, 5'8". During the Bucs game at it. What I remember about watching Humphries from the sideline during the Bucs-Cowboys game was his reliability. He was the security blanket for QB Jameis Winston that day. Winston targeted Humphries 12 times and completed 10 of the passes for 79 yards. Humphries was also a go-to guy for QB Ryan Fitzpatrick when the Bucs needed some Fitz magic. In Tampa, Humphries was the perfect complement to Mike Evans, who is the undisputed No. 1 big-bodied playmaker for their offense. Sign up for our free Cowboys newsletter. Humphries finished the 2018 season with 76 catches on 105 targets with 816 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns. He averaged 10.7 yards per catch. His catch percentage, 72.4%, was just under Beasley's 2019 catch percentage, 74.7%. Beasley's 2018 stat line, 65 catches, 672 yards, 10.3 yards per catch, average 3 TDs. The difference between Beasley and Humphries in 2018 was the number of targets. Beasley was targeted 87 times. Humphries averaged barely over one more target per game than Beasley. In talking to higher-ups in the Cowboys player personnel department during pre-game of Bucs-Cowboys, they noted the similar career paths of Humphries and Beasley. Both were undrafted, undersized rookie free agents that are hard-nosed and rely on quickness and toughness. Humphries played better competition in college during his time at Clemson. I just remember thinking during the game in December, well, if Dallas loses Beasley in free agency, this guy looks like a Cole Beasley starter kit. Of course, starter kit is unfair to Humphries, who in 4 seasons already has 219 catches for 2,319 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns. I also remember thinking, gosh, this kid would tear it up even more if he played for the Patriots. He's a quick guy who helps move the sticks, just like Beasley. Humphries earned $4.5 million in the entirety of his 4-year rookie contract with the Bucs. Now he's a free agent who will likely double that amount in the first year of his new deal. The Cowboys probably can't afford him because he could command more on the open market than Beasley, who is 4 years older than Humphries. So, if the Cowboys lose Beasley, they likely would not be able to match Humphries' offers from other teams. But gosh, Humphries looked good going against the Cowboys. Hopefully the Cowboys don't have to face him this year in New England if he signs with the Patriots. Do you think DeMarcus Lawrence will accept the franchise tag if a deal isn't reached? Kristi Scales, DeMarcus Lawrence has no choice. There is no accepting the tag, there's the application of the tag, and then, tag, you're it. Last year at this time when the Cowboys placed the 2018 franchise tag on Lawrence, it was a done deal. Here are 5 things to know about the franchise tag. 1. The franchise tag is a designation an NFL team applies to one of their players who has finished his contract and is ready to become an unrestricted free agent. In 2019, the first day to use the tag was February 19. The deadline, last day to apply tag, is March 5. Players who are tendered a franchise tag can sign that tender, or try to negotiate a long-term contract. But there's a deadline for finalizing a long-term deal. If the player, team don't have a new deal by mid-July, then the player's only choices are to play under the franchise tag on a one-year deal, or not play at all during the coming season. 2. A team can use only one tag per season. It's totally up to an NFL team to decide if they will use the tag. It is not mandatory. The Cowboys have used the tag only 6 times in team history. 3. Players don't like to be tagged because they want long-term deals with guarantees and large bonuses. If a team uses a franchise tag, the player receives a one-year contract with a salary that is the average of the top 5 salaries for players at the same position, or a 20% raise over his current salary, whichever is greater. If Lawrence was to be tagged again in 2019, he would get a 20% raise over the $17.148 million salary he received in 2018. But there would be no signing bonus or multi-year guarantee. It's a one-year guaranteed deal. Players want long-term deals with long-term guarantees and signing bonuses worth tens of millions of dollars. Why would the Cowboys consider tagging Lawrence again when they promised that he would get a long-term deal in 2019? Because by tagging him, they have the rights to him in 2019. He would not hit the open market in free agency where, presumably, his price would be driven up further. By applying franchise tags, NFL teams can buy extra time to negotiate a long-term deal with the franchised player. When Dez was tagged 4 years ago, the Cowboys eventually worked out a 5-year, $70 million deal with the receiver for $45 million guaranteed, including a $20 million signing bonus. 4. The amount of the franchise tag is a good indicator of which positions are most valued in the NFL. No surprise here, but quarterbacks have the highest amount and kickers, punters the least amount. The 2019 franchise tag amounts by position have not been released yet, but these are the projected totals based on 2018 salaries. In other words, the averages of the top 5 highest-paid players at each position last season. Quarterbacks, $25.578 million. Defensive ends, $18.653 million. Wide receivers, $17.101 million. Cornerbacks, $15.992 million. Linebackers, $15.777 million. Defensive tackles, $15.571 million. Offensive linemen, $15.283 million. Safeties, $12.037 million. Running backs, $11.98 million. Tight ends, $10.93 million. Kickers, punters, $5.612 million. Source, Jason Alexander, Sporting News/Overthecap.com. 5. In addition to the franchise tag, a team has an option to use one transition tag each season. The transition tag is also a one-year deal, but for less money. It's the average of the top 10 players at each position, or a 20% raise over the tagged player's previous salary, whichever is greater. A transition tag player can negotiate with other teams, but the original team has a first refusal right to match with 7 days any offer sheet given to the tagged player. Match the offer, keep the player. Don't match the offer, lose the player and receive no compensation, such as draft picks.